What's going on, good people? Good morning. This great Saturday. I do apologize for the delay. We're a little bit delayed this morning, but we are here. Going to give you On the Grill, presented by Conaz. This particular week, our guest picker is Colorado alum, financial whiz Larry Weicht. How you doing today, young man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's good to have you out here, man. You see the Colorado jersey to his immediate right.
Yeah, I got everything but coach's glasses on in here this morning. We're so excited out there to have a team to talk about.
But like I said, you were there 30 some odd years ago, so you were there when Colorado was still relevant.
Absolutely. The Cordell Stewart years, Sean Salam, Michael Westbrook, the catch from Michigan. I mean, that was all during my time.
Right. But then after you left, Colorado fell off. I mean, they went to the Rose Bowl in 2001.
I think that's right, yep.
Joey Harrington lost to Oregon. They got beat pretty bad. What do you think happened? It just, from to where they were, what do you think the biggest thing was? Coaching, just can't get players?
I think coaching certainly's got a part of it, but for a long time we were part of the Big Eight, right?
Right.
And I don't know if you've ever been to Manhattan, Kansas.
Can't say that I have.
Oh, you're not missing much. But the only when you're out there recruiting into the Big Eight, you go down, come out of Denver, and you go over this beautiful hill, and there sits Colorado down there. Beautiful place to go to college, right?
Right.
Or you went to Nebraska for the football. You
right.
didn't go to Nebraska for anything else, right?
Right.
But then you become part of the Big 12 and then the Pac-12, and all of a sudden these recruits are going to Arizona and Arizona State. They can go to USC, UCLA. There's just so much more opportunity to go and have a destination of a school. I think that maybe had something to do with it.
Right.
I think that, and then we had some coach turnover, right?
Right.
Rick Neuheisel came in after McCartney and did a good job, and then we got the coach out of Boise State, and he didn't last long, and Barnett didn't last that long, and so you get 3 or 4 years of your kids and grow them up. These guys are swapping out every couple of years. So I think maybe the combination of both was part of it.
Now I want to ask you, let's just go back in time. Let's go back December 2022. You sitting back watching football, then you hear Deion's got the job. What was your first thought? Never saw it coming.
Of all the folks that maybe run through your mind, right? Maybe it's a lower level program, or maybe a team that's not part of the Big Five or something.
Okay.
Never saw Deion coming, and then you get thinking about it, and that first interview, there it was.
Yeah.
He's bringing his Louis. And all of you guys.
And after that, you were sold.
I was getting there. I saying it and doing it are different. But then you see all spring long, this kid signs and this kid signs. And, the corner out of Kathleen was committed to Miami. Number one recruit in the country.
McLean,
Yeah. Then all of a sudden he decommits and goes out there. And then you're like, holy cow, he's doing it.
Then he also had transfers go from Jackson State also. But I just think a lot of people are – I think if you're a tradition, and we're around the same age, so we grew up Barry Switzer, Tom Osborne, Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, Bo Schembechler, Bobby Bowden. He's not that kind of coach.
No, but in this day and age with NIL, maybe you don't need that kind of coach.
True.
There was a time I got a great picture. My business partner played ball at Miami in the '80s, played linebacker, and his roommate was Vinny Testaverde freshman year. And there's this great picture of the quarterback room. It's all of them lined up, 83.
Okay.
Jim Kelly.
Okay.
Behind him was Bernie Kosar.
Okay.
Mark Rick. Everybody forgets Mark Rick was there now.
Yeah,
he went on to be a fantastic coach at Georgia.
Right.
And Vinny was the little freshman. Now, that talent room doesn't exist anymore in college football, right?
Right.
Any of those kids don't play. Mark Rick would have transferred years ago. Kosar would have transferred years ago because they weren't playing. They would have been behind somebody.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, these kids are coming in and they want to play and they want to play now. It's free agency.
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, the old school way of Tom Osborne and getting the right recruits and developing them for 5 years, maybe Deion's onto something.
Some people don't like change. How you feel about that? Are you good with the new guard?
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think Deion Sanders is a really unique person. He's hard to put in a box. And what I mean by that is, a lot of folks want to say he's brash, he's braggadocious, he's prime.
Right.
And then that's, let's say, a little bit more flair.
Yeah.
But the substance to lead young men. I mean, he kicks them out of the weight room for wearing the wrong color socks because they need to pay attention to discipline.
Right.
The little things will get us beat.
Right.
There's two sides to taking a knee during the national anthem. Deion benched 2 kids for the first half of the Oregon game. He said,
Right.
you stand for the flag, right?
Right.
That's another side. He's just very hard to put in any box. He's his own man.
Right.
He's going to do it his own way. And after 30 years in the desert, I feel like Noah, as Moses, as a Colorado fan, maybe, just maybe, this is the right way to do it. And I'm excited as can be for it.
Now, I got to ask you, because I know you went a couple weeks ago when they played Nebraska. What was the vibe out? What was it like out there that particular
So
game?
I go out for a couple games every year.
Okay.
And usually the students are gone by halftime. You can find anywhere to sit. You buy whatever tickets you want, and you're in there. And, the running joke is if you want 2 tickets, you leave one on your windshield. Somebody will give you 2 more instead, right? That's how bad we've been. There's nowhere to sit. Full house. Students all over the place. Huge vibe. Friday night beforehand, the Nebraska fans are down on Pearl Street talking Nebraska junk, as they always do.
Okay.
It was electric. It was fantastic. You got the beautiful Bluebird Day, and you got Fox right here, and it was amazing. It was like the old days on steroids. It was great.
And I think that's the beauty, because Colorado was relevant.
Yeah,
back in the day,
right?
And they had good athletes, and I think McCartney really went out to Los Angeles, went and got a lot of kids that maybe a lot of schools didn't want to touch, and he had a vision, and he took Colorado, because I'm old school Big 8 like you, so I remember Big 8 was Oklahoma, Nebraska, and that was it. So the last game they played, the winner, when they played for the national title, and went to the Orange Bowl.
It was down to the Orange Bowl, right?
Colorado was just an afterthought, so to see them make their climb and fall down again, and now here Deion comes in, and he's captivated college football. I mean, just sports in general. There's a lot of people that really were glad to see them get whooped this past weekend, but I mean that's part of football, and I accept that. But you're not going to make everybody happy. And there are coaches that are out here that some people don't like, don't think a lot of. But what Deion is doing, he's giving young men an opportunity at a better way of life. And then also, playing for Deion, he's been the league. He's a Hall of Famer.
If he's saying it, he knows it.
Right. And he always says, I got a gold jacket I didn't buy. I didn't pay for it. So that means you were the elite.
14 years in the NFL? Are you kidding me? Come on.
Right. At what you did. So that's why I say, they're making climbs, and I think today's going to be tough, and we're going to get into that in a minute. So we're going to take our only break of the day. This will be brought to you by Conaz, my good people that sponsor the show, Michael Trigg, Eric Trigg. Actually, I'm going down there a little late on down. I don't know if Torres is going to go with, but I'm going down there today. Perfect. 1510 North Hubert, Tampa, Florida, 33607, 813-870-0404. Check out the times they have available for you. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna get right into the games. I gotta get my man Larry home for kickoff for the Buffalo.
Kickoff. That's right. We gotta get in the house for that.
So give us a quick minute. We'll be right back. Appreciate you guys waiting on us. We're back at Conan Barbecue Present on the Grill. Special guest picker, Larry Weicht, here kicking it with us today. So, Larry, we're finna get into it. Like I said, we're not going to keep you long. So, first segment we're going to cover is called light sauce. No, excuse me, mild sauce. Mild sauce. So, these are going to be the games that, could go either way, and I want to see who you like in these games. Torres, whenever you're ready, you pull those up for me, please. There you see mild sauce, brought to you by Conaz. Okay. We got about 8 or 9 games on this. This is going to be pretty good. So we got Clemson traveling to Syracuse. Clemson's lost 2 games. Could be, I've never seen a Dabo Swinney team lose 3 games in September. Do you see them beating Syracuse today?
I'm going to pick them, but I'll tell you right now, it's going to be close.
That's going to be close? Okay.
Syracuse, I haven't said this in a long time, they might have the better quarterback in this game.
Okay.
That kid from Syracuse can flat out ball out now.
Now, in my Brent Musburger voice, Syracuse is getting 6.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
At home.
At home. Okay.
Now, we picking against the line or straight up?
I mean, you picture it however you want to do it.
If you gave me Syracuse in 6, 6.5, 7, yeah, I'd take them.
You take Syracuse?
I think they got to run the ball. Clemson's got to run the ball, right? They have not shown the ability on the outside.
No, they haven't.
And I don't know what they have in their quarterback.
And you still got Miami. You still got NC State. You still got a couple of games left. So, I mean, Dabo's anti-transfer.
I was going to say, if you want to put two programs that maybe are the opposite of each other, the way they feel about NIL, it might be Colorado, and it might be old school Dabo from Alabama, and we're going to grow our own. Maybe one's on the ascent and one's on the descent.
Dabo, like I say, Dabo's going to have to get with the times because his formula right now is not working. But, I mean, like I say, remains to be seen. But
only 2 games, and they could have beat Duke. They were in it. They certainly could have beat Florida State last week. I mean, this feels like a game that Syracuse can win, but maybe Clemson comes back out and reminds us why they're Clemson.
Okay. Tricky game in Lexington. Florida in the ranked in the 25, traveling to Kentucky. Kentucky is given 3. I like Kentucky in this game.
Okay. I saw the line came down to 1.
Okay.
I'm going to go Florida here and take the points. Florida
with the points?
Take the points.
Okay.
And then maybe Florida outright.
Okay. SEC implications. Arkansas lost to Toughen in Baton Rouge last week. Hosting the Texas A&M Aggies. Aggies are favored by 6. I kind of like Arkansas all right on this.
Oh, man, I feel like I'm on the other side of you. I'm going to go A&M here.
Hey, that's
I feel like I'm on the other side.
Hey, you can even say not so fast, my friend, if you feel like it.
Yeah, for the Lion Quest Bowl, we get to go all over the country, and those fans in Aggieville can absolutely have a good time, and they will travel to Arkansas because they think part of Arkansas is really Texas anyway.
That is true. Yeah, but that's and they used to be back in Jerry. I don't know if they playing in Jerry World. Normally they do play in Jerry World.
They do, and I think this game's in Arkansas, but I might be wrong on that.
Okay.
But no, I think you're going to have a lot of maroon no matter what you do, right?
Yeah.
Because both teams got a little dark red.
Exactly. Should be a good game though. But I like Arkansas outright. Virginia at Boston College. Boston College is favored by 2.
Close game in this one, right? I mean, neither one of these teams is having a great year in the ACC. But I'm going to take the home team in Boston College here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Doug Flutie also. I'll take him to win. Big Ten game. This is going to be a pick'em. Illinois at Purdue.
Toot Boilermakers for my buddy Mike Starkey. He's the only one on my team selection committee that went to Purdue, and every year he's trying to get him in the game. But unfortunately,
they came in the Classic when they lost to Georgia. Drew Brees. I remember that.
Yep.
Okay, I remember that.
They show up when they get here. They just got to win 6 to get here. So I'm gonna take my home team Purdue there.
Take Purdue. Okay. Continue with mild sauce, please. Our hometown USF Bulls travel to Annapolis to take on the Navy midshipmen today. Yeah. Navy's favored by 4.
I like Navy.
I do too.
I think their coach has got them disciplined. All those kids are obviously very disciplined. One of my good friends from college, Shantain, shout out. His son just became a freshman at Navy and played ball for them, so I got to go with Navy on this one.
Yeah, I like Navy
we got
too.
Our USF homers here.
Yeah, but USF is, I don't know what it's going to take. They fallen off. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe get better recruits, better coaching, but a lot of kids locally don't even look at South Florida. And I think that's something that we have to address.
In an interview I saw recently, Dion, that he was really thinking about coming to USF.
Right.
Derek Brooks comes up and kind of shows them what, they're going to have a great stadium. So I think there's the opportunity there with the right coach and a couple transfer kids at the right spots. I mean, Dion really considered that very hard before he went out to Colorado. That's
gonna be. But I think Navy's gonna take care of business. Another good game. Boise traveling to Memphis, going to Beale Street. Memphis is favored by 3, so that's kind of like a pick 'em. Memphis at home. I got a younger cousin, Sutton Smith, that plays for Memphis, so I gotta go with Memphis.
Yeah, there's no blue turf in Memphis. I'm gonna go with Memphis as well.
Exactly. Now, first game of the ESPN doubleheader, LSU traveling to Ole Miss. Both teams with 1 loss. Yeah. LSU is a non-conference loss. Ole Miss just lost to Alabama. Ole Miss is getting 2.
I like LSU in this game. They got a couple wideouts that you're going to see on Sundays everywhere you go. And I don't know that Ole Miss's offense can keep up with them.
Well, they're the 2 higher score teams, so I think the over is going to be very attractive.
It is going to be attractive, right? The public will get on that, which means we probably should go the under is what it usually means. But no, I like LSU in this game, and I don't know that it stays within a touchdown. I think LSU is going to get them pretty good.
Okay. Night game on ABC. Duke actually having their first game day ever in history hosted Notre Dame. Notre Dame is actually favored by 4 in this.
I saw it as high as 7 this morning, and so I guess I'm a little torn here. If you remember last year when Notre Dame lost to Ohio State, they were a 3-touchdown favorite the next week over Marshall. Remember what happened?
Right.
Marshall got them.
Yeah.
So let's see. Losing a game the way Notre Dame did last week, it's hard. I mean, it is hard. You had them most of the game. The last play of the game, you lose to Ohio State, and so Notre Dame's got more talent, and I'm going to take them, but I would take Duke in the points if you let me have the 7.
I like Duke outright, Larry.
Okay, all right.
I like Duke outright.
I don't hate that.
I like Duke outright. I think they play a physical brand of football. Notre Dame is reeling a little bit. They're going to be Wallace Wade Campbell's going to be electric this evening.
We are going to see what Notre Dame's made of. We're going to see what their coach can do to get those kids up. And losing those kinds of games is very hard to come back the next week. And like I said, they lost last year to Ohio State and came back, got beat by Marshall. So I don't hate the Dukies here.
Okay. And our last mild sauce game, Pittsburgh at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech is actually getting 2.
I like Tech at home.
Night game, I got to go. They're going to play Metallica, Sandman.
Something special teams-wise is going to happen. Yeah. Always does at Tech, right? I mean, I know
Blacksburg is
Blacksburg at night
special. It's crazy.
They got a couple drinks in them by then. They'll have a pretty loud.
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump on that. I'm definitely gonna jump on Virginia Tech as well. Now let's get into our next segment, Torres, which will be extra sauce. Now these are the games with lopsided lines. And I just want to see what do you think do they cover?
Okay.
Yeah. LSU. We start out with your buffs.
Start out with my buffs.
Hosted SC last time you checked. What was the line?
21.5 this morning, but it opened at 27.5.
Right. So everybody's thinking that this is what happened last week was not a reality. So
I think it is reality. I think we're not there yet. We're up and coming, and I think that we are going to struggle against really deep programs. And I think that's fair. In the trenches, we're not where we need to be quite yet. So I think USC wins, but my Buffs cover.
Okay, all right. Last week I said they were going to beat Oregon, so I won't do that this week.
There will be no happier man in all of Hillsborough County should that happen this week. I promise you. You hear me screaming all the way from the house, but
okay.
I think USC's got a bunch. They're a good football team. Defensively, I'm not sure. I think Colorado can score on them, but I see a high-scoring, 42-49 to 35 kind of ball game.
Okay, all right. Penn State at Northwestern opened up at 27.
Penn State might be the best team in the SEC. I mean, in the Big Ten, if you're not careful. I like Penn State all day here.
With the 27, I think they're going to blow Northwestern. Northwestern's in shambles. I believe they're going to whoop them too. Michigan, first road game, traveling down to Lincoln to take on Nebraska. Harbaugh will be in the fold. It's the second game back. Michigan is giving Nebraska 17.
We're all waiting for Michigan to break out, right? There's nobody to break out better than against Nebraska. Michigan by 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns? Okay, I got you. Oldest rivalry in the SEC, Georgia traveling to Auburn. Georgia's giving Auburn 15. Auburn is another program that has kind of fallen off a little bit, trying to get back. Tough game today, hosting Georgia. Does Georgia cover the 15?
I think they cover them.
Yeah, I think
they do between
too.
The hedges, one place or the other, right? Auburn always tends to give them a fit, but Georgia's just deep and strong and fast and getting
tough
better
matchup
every week.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Auburn. I think Georgia cover too. Kansas, next game, Kansas at Texas. That's 3:30 game on ESPN. Texas giving Kansas 17.
Kansas is a good football team. They're a complete team,
I believe that
they
too.
are a good football team.
I believe that too.
And the thing that bothers me is that, remember, next week is the Red River Shootout.
Right.
So if you want to set up a look-ahead game, both
Texas looking ahead.
Texas and Oklahoma both playing some teams that they're heavily favored against.
Right.
Can they cover? I think Sarkisian knows exactly what the line is every week. I think the Texas alumni pay him to cover, and I think Texas covers. But be careful. Don't look ahead.
I like Kansas. I like Kansas to cover.
Okay.
I like Kansas to cover. They play tough. They got good quarterback play, and they're
a good team.
They're a good team, and they're also being ranked. I think they look at it where if we beat Texas is 3. That puts them in that they got to be at least top 12, 13.
Yeah. Kansas is a good team, offense and defense. Texas is just
Texas.
good.
They're strong. They're strong. They're strong. They got a lot of weapons out there.
When you're good enough to put Arch Manning's grandson on the bench for a year, you're pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Oregon at Stanford. Oregon comes back after the 42-6 drubbing over Colorado. Now they travel to Palo Alto. No Andrew Luck, no Richard Sherman. I think this is going to get out of hand, too.
It's going to get out of hand.
They give it Stanford 27. I think they cover all. Oregon covers all of that.
I think they look a little bit like Colorado last week, and we got beat like we stole some. So I think Oregon might be next.
Yeah. Another game of teams looking strong last week. Alabama travels to Starkville. Night game taking on Mississippi State. They're giving Mississippi State 15.
I like Alabama here to cover.
I like Alabama heavy.
2.5 touchdowns probably is my guess, but I like Alabama to cover.
Yeah, I don't think Mississippi State will score 14 points tonight. Alabama, they're getting their mojo back. In the last game, Tulsa Washington, led by Dade City's own Mike Penix.
Yeah.
Traveling to Tucson, the desert. They got Arizona night game tonight. Arizona is getting 19.
Arizona's got problems. They got a problem at quarterback. Penix has shown out second year in a row. He's leading the nation in passing yards. He's got a great set of wideouts.
Yeah.
I absolutely like Washington win this game.
Yeah, I like Washington win big. Yeah, I do too. I like Washington win big. So as we go into our next phase, this is going to do some NFL. This is going to be sauce on the side. So a couple of games that go either way. Vegas has the lines anywhere between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
So we start out with the first game on the pond. The Atlanta Falcons, my team, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Right. Jacksonville lost a game last week that
they did.
Nobody saw coming against Houston. Atlanta got beat up with Detroit, Marcus McCants' favorite team. I had to throw that out there for him.
Yeah.
And they got whooped. But
they showed out the other night.
Yeah, Detroit is for real.
They showed out.
Detroit is for real. So yeah, you want Detroit is for real. I'm a believer. So who do you like? It Jacksonville's favorite. It looks like by 2.
I like Jacksonville to win the game.
Okay.
Those London games are tough. Early starts, travel,
and they actually got Buffalo next week too. So I don't think they leave.
No, they're going to stay there, right? So
right.
I think that gives them a huge advantage next week. But this week, you know what? I still like them over Atlanta. I think they're a better football team at this point. Don't sleep on Bijan Robinson though. Boy, oh boy, is that.
Yeah, he's tough. I like Bijan too. Torres, you got the games pulled up because I got on the side. Okay, there we go. No, you're good. Okay. AFC East supremacy. This ain't Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, but this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo's favored by 3 being the home team.
I think this is going to remind me of Dan Marino, Kenny O'Brien in that playoff back in the 80s when they just kept last team with the ball wins.
Last team with the ball wins?
Yeah, I think it could be something like that. It's tough to bet against Miami right now. They're hot. So we're going to take it. I think that starting safety for Buffalo is out as well.
He's out. Poyer's out.
Yeah, so I like Miami to win.
Second-rate defense, top-rate offense, something's got to give. But
Agreed.
I'm going to be honest with you, Larry. It's so hard to trust Josh Allen. It's hard. And that's my dilemma. I'm going to take Buffalo. I would take Buffalo, but if Josh Allen plays mistake-free ball, they should win. But Miami's playing pinball over there with Tua. They are running crazy.
Remember, Waddle was out last week.
And he'll be back this week.
When they're both on the field, how do you cover both those
right, and then Mostert ran crazy. The guy behind him, Etienne, he ran crazy. So now, I don't know if they score 70, but I
don't think they score 70, but together they might score 80. You know what I mean? I think last team with the ball wins this game, and Miami, maybe has a little more horsepower. Yeah, a lot of offense in this. So I'm gonna try Buffalo. AFC North matchup, battle of 2 proven quarterbacks, ACC vibes. Lamar Jackson bringing the Ravens, who just lost their first game, against Cleveland, who's not lost at home yet. Both teams 2-1, playing for top spot. Cleveland favored by 2. Who you liking this? You know what? Honestly, this might be the opposite of that Miami-Buffalo game, right? This could be a defensive battle, 13-10 kind of ball game.
And Miles Garrett's playing lights out.
Cleveland's defense is playing lights out.
They play good.
A bunch of dogs over there. They're after folks. Tell you what, I like Cleveland at home.
I'm going to try Lamar Jackson. I mean, I know Odell's not playing, but I know they got Jerome Ford for Cleveland, but I think Baltimore's going to find a way to win. I can't see them at 2-2, but it can happen.
They're beat up. Gosh,
they are. They are. Two 0-3 teams going at it. Some's got to give. Ooh. The Broncos limping to Chicago, taking on the 0-3 Chicago Bears. The Bears are getting 3.
Unfortunately, against them Bears, limp is all you got to do. I mean, you could probably roll in there in a wheelchair. If there's I don't know what that program's about anymore. Chicago's just tough.
Yeah.
So I will take the Broncos to get their first win under Coach Sean Payton.
Okay. I like Denver to win, too. Okay. AFC matchup, Cincinnati traveling to Tennessee. Tennessee actually is getting 2 in this game. Tennessee's 1-2, got pushed around last week pretty bad by Cleveland. Cincinnati found a way to win, beat the Rams. Burrow's not at full strength, but I'm gonna take Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati.
I like Cincinnati. Well. I do. No Treylon Burks. No big play guy for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Should be a close game, but I like Cincinnati in the end.
Okay. Los Angeles Rams traveling, taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson will be back. Now, the Colts are getting 2 in this game.
I like the Rams to cover the 2. I like the Rams to win outright.
I like the Rams, too. From a local side, our game, our Bucks, well, not our Bucks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel down to the Bayou, take on the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston should be starting.
Look like Jameis is going to be the starter.
Jameis is going to be the man on the center. Saints are favored by 3. Who do you like in this?
I like the Saints at home. They just seem to have our number. I don't know why, but in a fantasy game, you got to take Mike Evans out of the game this week because Lattimore locks him down.
Yeah,
he's a big part of that offense. So I'm gonna take the
then
Saints.
Kamara comes back too.
Absolutely, that's a
so
huge
that's big.
For them,
That's big.
Plus, they can throw the ball around with Olave. I mean, Jameis threw pretty good to him. Remember, Jameis was looking real good to the Bucs game last year and got hurt.
Right.
Could he have a big game against his old team?
I'm definitely sure he wants to.
I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he wants to. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints also. Pittsburgh traveling down to Houston, taking on the Texans, won their first game. Houston is actually getting 3. Pittsburgh fans travel, so I know they're going to be
table towels everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
they'll be deep in Houston. I like Pittsburgh.
I like Pittsburgh as well.
I like them to cover. The Monday night game, Seattle traveling to New York, where they won the Super Bowl at East Rutherford Giants Stadium. Giants probably won't have Saquon Barkley. They're favored by 1.
I think there's going to be a good game. Neither defense is real strong.
Right.
Daniel Jones, talk about can't trust him. He's another one of those quarterbacks that just reminds me, 1 week he's all-world beater, running the ball, throwing it all over the place, and the next week can't get out of his own way. So I think the quarterback play at Seattle is a little more consistent. I'll take Seattle on the road.
Okay, I'm going to try the Giants. I think they're going to play better. Like I said, they're 1-2, and the Cowboys lost this week. The Eagles are undefeated, so you don't want to get too far behind because it's only 4 weeks in, but like I said, a lot of football still left to be played, but I think the Giants need this game, so I'm going to take the Giants. And our last segment is called Hot Sauce. So these are the games where you have larger spreads, say at least 7. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what these teams do. So we're just looking for them to see if they cover. The Commanders traveling to Philadelphia. Philadelphia's just here for Monday night. Beat the Bucks. Taking on the Commanders. They're getting 8.
Philadelphia still hasn't played their best ball, have they? They're 3-0, and I don't know that they played their best ball. So I'm going to take Philadelphia to cover that at home.
I guess I'm an old school NFC East guy, so I'm going to be interested to see how Washington plays good defense and they get up for the Eagles. I think the Eagles will win, but I don't think they cover the 8.
Fair.
Late game, we got the 4 o'clock game. I'm sure Tony Romo will be there for this one. The New England Patriots, who are 1-2, got their first road win over the Jets. Hosted the Cowboys, who had a what happened moment last Sunday in Arizona.
Don't they always seem to have a what happened moment?
They do.
Those poor Cowboy fans. Every year, you got the weird one to the Super Bowl, and they got the year on there, and now it looks like, they've been in the Army 30 years. They got it all the way down their sleeve.
It's a little outdated.
What's the line here?
7.
I think New England, Belichick probably takes CeeDee Lamb out of the game, because he's pretty good at taking out your best weapon. But I think Dak reduces turnovers, and, they cover the 7.
Okay. The hottest team in the league, I got to say, is the San Francisco 49ers, undefeated, playing good ball, hosting Arizona, who has led in every game this year so far. They're 0-3, and they're getting 14.
It's a big number in the NFL. It's a really big number. I think San Francisco wins handily, but I don't think they cover the 14.
Maybe Arizona scores late.
Yeah, a late field goal, backdoor cover if you're a bettor, that kind of thing. Josh Dobbs doing some great things. They picked him up off the street 3 weeks before the season starts.
Exactly.
And thought maybe you can just hold on for a couple weeks, but he's playing pretty good ball.
Yeah, and I don't think they're committed to Kyler Murray anyway, so I think they're looking at draft positioning, but I think
Can you say Caleb Williams?
That's the way it's looking. That's the way it's looking. And our last game, the Sunday night game, which is Kansas City at full throttle, traveling to New York, taking on the New York Jets. No Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson under center. They say Aaron is trying to travel to make the game, so I guess he's trying to get cleared by his doctors. We got to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I heard he was going to Colorado today too, but he didn't quite make that game. So,
okay.
No,
okay.
He had said maybe he'll stop by there on his way out to the game. So I don't think that happens either.
And the Jets are getting 9, which is heavy. That's a lot for for a home dog.
So at this point, I think that the real bet is actually, does Kansas City even leave their starters in the fourth quarter? Zach Wilson is terrible. Their defense can hold them to 3 points. They're going to lose 3-0. So he is not good. Good athletes on the outside. You got Garrett Wilson and all these other guys can play some ball now. But no, Kansas City by 21, and that's when they pull Patrick in the fourth quarter.
Night game. Sure, the crowd's going to be into it, but I think the Chiefs are too much. 9 is heavy, so I'll say what you just spoke about earlier, backdoor cover. Late touchdown by the second string quarterback.
Well, that's got to be our game. Monday night game, covering the 9. I got the Chiefs, you got the Jets, and the losers got to buy the winners some lunch at Conan's next Saturday. How does that sound?
That works. Okay, I can do that. So let's say Jets cover. It's on you.
Yeah, I got to pay for it.
Kansas City covers, then it's on me.
Yeah, I could get us some great barbecue from Conan's.
Oh, absolutely. We definitely
we'll enjoy that.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. I have no problem with that. So that's going to do it for this week. Presentation of Conan's presents On the Grill. Larry, I want to thank you for coming in. Special shout-outs you want to give? I saw you looking real nice and dapper last night.
Oh, yeah. My daughter, Reese, made the homecoming game at Newsom. The game got canceled, so they're playing it right now. So hopefully them Newsom Wolves are putting it on those Riverview Sharks for you high school fans out here.
Yeah, they undefeated. Yeah, we'll get into that Monday and see how we got to get the results and see how that does.
Yeah, they played it this morning. They had to cancel the game last night.
Yeah, so are they starting over, or they just pick it back up for it?
I don't know the answer to that one. I know they're playing it at 9. It was this morning. And
right.
It was early, maybe 10 minutes into the first quarter, but when they had to call the game. So
was it a score? Anybody scored?
Yeah, Newsom had scored. So it was 7-0 at that point.
Well, they probably suspended, just pick back up.
I think that's probably what happens. I'm just not 100% sure on that, to be honest with you, D.
Okay. Well, no problem. Like I said, we're going to get out of here, man. I know my man Larry getting ready for them Buffaloes at 12.
Go Buffs.
And me and Torres got some work we got to do. So as we always say, man, keep God first. Love your family. When you see us, holler. Catch you guys next Saturday. Somebody doing Conan's. I don't know who paying, but we'll be there.
We're going to eat for sure.
All right. You guys have a good day, man. Thank you. Love you all. Good night.